Hello, today I'd like to help people if they are practicing at home. A lot of the time when you may or may not practice at home, but if you do practice at home, you will find that you perhaps take the same route every time. Big part of the driving test is being put under pressure, not knowing what's in front of you, and that fear can build. So what I'm suggesting is we're going to call it supermarket sweep. So what I want you to do is to just write out some supermarket names in the town that you live. If you live in Newbury, I've got all of them. So I've got the Co-op on Pound Street written out here. I'd like you to put them in a bag, and the person supervising you is in charge of the bag and the names. And all you've got to do is pull out 3. And you're going to drive. So it's 1, 2, change that one because I was holding on to it, and 3. Okay, so I'm going to pick out first one. First one is I'm going to drive to Sainsbury's in town. Then I'm going to drive to Tesco's on London Road, and then I'm going to drive to the Co-op at Wash Common. The purpose of this is to mix up your route a little bit. Don't just drive to school or work or wherever you go when you practice. Go out with, a little bit of uncertainty about you. Get the person next to you to pull you up on the left whenever they can as well. That also adds pressure. It might be on a hill, downhill, uphill. Anything like that is going to stress that learner driver out whenever you put them under pressure. Okay, the second aim of today is to give you some general driving commentary advice with the drive that we're going to be doing on the way there. So we're going from Sainsbury's, we're going to Sainsbury's, Tesco's on London Road, and then to the Co-op at Wash Common. I'm not sure if we're going to get this done in 20 minutes, but we're going to try. Today it is raining. It's not the best day for filming because we're going to have wipers going, but who cares? So we're going to go from here. Okay, so I'm going to give you a full commentary on what I'm doing. Handbrake's on, I'm in neutral, engine started, headlights are on, automatic headlights are on, the windows are nice and demisted. I'm going to put the back wiper on as well because it is raining. Everything's good to go. So we're going to use the possum routine, which is to prepare the car, observe, signal and move. So get my feet ready, check this. Oh, postman's coming, so it's just as well I did check over that left shoulder because there's a road that comes behind us. He's parked up down the end, so that's fine. So I'm still going to use the signal. Feet still, release the handbrake, keep checking for people as I emerge out of this space. I'm going to just check mirrors and signal left to the left up here. Now I know my way around the town, so there's some roadworks at the moment, so I'm going to go left at the end of this road. So centre and left mirror, signal. Could be pedestrians at the end of this road. Highway code rules have changed recently, meaning if there's a pedestrian waiting to cross near a junction, we should give way to them. Now what we shouldn't do is use any hand gestures or anything like that, and I'm hoping that on this route that's going to occur. So I'm going to check my mirror again, there's nothing following me. We're turning left at the end, so checking the centre and the left mirror, signalling left, looking out for people, crossing the road. I've got my brake and my clutch is fully down. We're going to look right and left, not just for people, but it's a horrible junction. Can't see, it's a narrow sort of single track type country road without pavements, so we've got to be careful. Speed limit is 30. I can tell that because there are some street lamps down here. They aren't very regular, but it's also near my home, so I know it's 30. There is a car emerging out of a driveway that we just went past. It's a silver one. It looks like it might come this way. I've got 2 pedestrians walking towards me. Speed is currently 17. I'm looking to see if those pedestrians have seen me. The one with the brolly is probably not able to see me because they're looking at the floor. Checking my right mirror, just watching out for people coming out of driveways. Just making eye contact with them. They are waiting for me, so I'm just going to put my hand up and say thank you. Checking my centre and left mirror to check it's okay to move back. I've got a police car, so main and left mirror. They're happy to move over a little bit. I'll just say thank you to them as well. And then continue. Got another junction on the left. There's a parked car in a lay-by. I'm going to pop it into third. I'm not getting any faster, just keeping that speed the same. Nothing following me. Got a pedestrian in the distance, blue brolly. They look like they're going to see me. They are walking in the road, so I'm just checking my main and right mirror, moving out slightly. Got a junction on the left, yellow lines indicating parking restrictions, junction on the right. Still nothing following me. End of the road, we are going to be turning right. The reason we've come this way is because there's roadworks near the Waitrose roundabout, so I'm quite pleased I didn't pick up Waitrose out of the bag. But I'd have gone the back way like this if we did. Right, we're turning right at the end, so we're checking the centre and the right mirror. We've got a pedestrian on the left. Now, they might want to cross in a minute. Now, at the moment, if they look to cross, they're not waiting, but they could be. There's also one on the right, but they're definitely heading around the corner. They're away from me, so keep looking right and left. In the new road, I've got a few more pedestrians. I'm going to edge forwards to make my view better. The pedestrian on the left is now crossing, which means it's safe for me to cross the road as well. Checking behind me, nothing's following me. These two pedestrians here, keeping clear of the puddles. Another pedestrian there. 3 more pedestrians, 4 more pedestrians up the road. There's a bus stop and there's a car in the distance. I've got hazard lines on the floor. Speed limit's 30, street lamps. Keeping well away from the puddles. Still got nothing following me. We're going to be following the road ahead at this mini roundabout that's coming up now. White sign, first exit, so check behind me. Nothing there still. Left mirror because I'm keeping to the left. Braking, I'm looking at the base of the floor where the white car just popped out from, because that's where I'll see the indicators and the wheels of the car, because looking at the floor, you'll see the wheels, which way they're turning. I'm going to turn left at this roundabout, the crossing's clear, check main and left mirror, signal, slowing it down, tree down and roadworks, sort of bollards on the left, blocking my view, all clear on the right, and keep it tucked into the left. New road, new mirrors, everything's good behind me. 2 pedestrians. I need to consider them if I was turning left, for example, there. I'm not. I'm going to be going to this roundabout and turning right. 3rd exit, so we are going past Waitrose, not on the list, but never mind. So we're going to keep to the right hand side. 40 speed limit. Going to just keep in 2nd gear. 15 miles an hour is a good approach speed. All clear. Double check. We're counting the exits as we go around. We want the 3rd exit. So we're going to check the centre and the left mirror. We're going to signal to exit. We're going to keep checking and then accelerate away. Got a warning sign for a school. Little 40 sign reminding us of the current speed. 2 pedestrians on the left. A crossing. So I'm going to look in my mirror again. Nothing there. Nothing in front of us. We're all good to go. So I'm going to speed up some more. Warning sign for Stagger Junction into 5th. Staying at 40 now. Got a car following at a safe distance. Warning for school. Junction on the left. There's a Stagger Junction, so there is a junction on the right near the blue van. I'm heading to Sainsbury's, which is on the A339 south. So what I need to do is split the lanes here. So I'm going to check my centre and right mirror. The car behind's indicating to turn right into that side road. I'm just keeping to the right because the lane split. So red light, always try to not stop. That means slow right down into 1st gear, keep crawling. Big advantages, easier, less likely to stall because you're not moving off from stationary. We are going to stop the car. I've tried my best, never mind. Handbrake on. I'm going to keep in first because I am near the front. If I look to my right, there is an ambulance coming out, so if my light changes, which it is now, I'm actually going to sit still because there is an ambulance coming through. It's just coming on. The other car didn't see it, but that's what happens if you just look properly. I am on a green light, so I'm just checking that these other cars don't follow the ambulance, because some people do that. We're going to go into 2nd, but I've got a red light. I've got a van driver quite close behind me now. Again, I'm trying not to stop at these lights. Round the corner, I've got 3 lanes, and I need the middle of the 3 lanes. So I'm going to check my left mirror here, and the centre mirror. Van's still there blocking that view, so I'm going to keep checking that left mirror and keeping up against this line on my left. I've got a 40 sign, both sides, it's a reminder. Warning for traffic lights, both sides of the road, can't miss them then. And you can see the traffic lights as well, they're on red. Got white cars even up behind me, they're all in a hurry, these people, but they're not getting anywhere. Not getting anywhere at all. I'm just saving fuel and driving safely. So we're going to go to 1st gear. We've got a black car behind us. We are staying in this lane. A339 south is where we are trying to go. Not able to avoid stopping, so handbrake on. I am going to keep it in first. I could go to neutral and use the start-stop system, but I am quite close to the front of the queue. The issue with being close to the front of the queue, as a learner or someone that's not particularly experienced, it's more likely that you're going to stall. So keep the car in gear where you can. If I was 5 or 6 cars back, I'd definitely recommend handbrake neutral, come off the clutch, and then the start-stop system will kick in and you will save some fuel doing that. Checking for bikes down the sides. I'm going to follow this line round on the right, and we're following the blue van. Wet weather, we need to give at least 4 seconds gap, preferably whenever we're driving, because it takes double the distance to stop. When it's dry, we need 2 seconds. In front of us, traffic lights. Got a vehicle behind me, Kia. It's quite a nice, safe distance behind, but I'm just going to keep checking my mirror. Nothing there, nothing at the crossing, which is good news. So we are heading to Sainsbury's. We're not going to go into Sainsbury's, but if you had time, pop in there, do a bay park, and then head to your next supermarket. So we're going to go to London Road Tesco's after this. So I'm not going to go actually into Sainsbury's, we're just heading in the direction of Sainsbury's, and then we're going to fork off and head towards Tesco's on London Road. Behind me I can hear a siren. It might be in front of me, I can't tell. It sounds like oh, there we go, it's in front of us there. Checking the door mirrors. Difficult to tell when all the sound's bouncing off the sort of buildings and metal structures around, so it could be, what's the word, disorientating. You can not do that, but the main point is just look in your mirrors. If I look in my right mirror now, there's a motorbike coming up down the side. She was very close to me when she came round. Always check your mirror before you pull out. She didn't also signal, so if the bike was there, the bike wouldn't have known. Always check your blind spot too when you change lanes. Okay, we're going to turn left because Sainsbury's is up here on the left, and we're going to head towards London Road Tesco's now. So check the centre in the left mirror, put a signal on, follow it around. We're going to keep to the left hand side, keeping near the curb. We've got a 20 sign in the new road. Looking round, we've got traffic light, one-way sign, no large vehicles more than 7.5 tonnes. It's most likely because it's a narrow road, lots of parked cars, speed limit is 20. Remember, the reason for the bag and the names in the bag of the supermarket is just, you can pick anything, but you don't have to put supermarkets in. I call it supermarket suite, but you can do anything you like. It's just to create some randomness and for you not to do the same old stuff all the time. But remember, wherever possible, I'd like you to find somewhere safe to pull up so you can practice driving off again, but the person supervising you needs to be in charge of that. And also I'd recommend that you perhaps don't pull all 3 names out of the hat as I did. You could just do, the person supervising could pull one out each time you get near or at that location and then start directing you to the next place. Okay, so we're going straight on. We've got a van behind us. Speed limit is going up to 30. I would find somewhere safe to pull up here to practice that and show you the procedure for moving off. But as we've got yellow lines and I've got someone following quite closely, I'm not going to do that at the moment. So I'm into third. I'm going to think about the lorry that's parked up on the right hand side. It has got hazard lights on. The driver is in the cab. I am going to drop back down to second because if someone whizzes round the back of it or he drives off, he looks like he's looking to drive off or turn around or do something. There could be something out the back of the lorry, something emerging out of a junction or an entrance to any of these sort of industrial estate buildings. We've got a van behind us. We've still got yellow lines, so I still can't practice parking. In front of us, round the bend, can see nicely round the bend. Speeds at 25, got double yellow lines, hazard lines in the middle, no puddles near that pedestrian. If there was, I might consider checking my mirrors, signalling if necessary to show that I'm going to move out. But try not to splash people. It's nothing worse than getting wet from the rain and then someone chucks a load of dirty puddle water with all sorts of things in it at you. We are going to be going at the roundabout, left, first exit. It is a mini roundabout. Can't signal yet because there's an entrance, but because there's railings in there I can, because nothing could be coming out of there and nothing can go in there, so I can signal a bit earlier than if the railings weren't there. Looking right, looking left, there's no pedestrians, so I'm not worried about having to give way to them. Straightening up, we've got a 40 sign in front of us, black car following, so I'm going to gently speed up, third gear, and then we've got a van on the right that might emerge, we've got a side road on the left that's clear, still got the black car. They are a bit close, they've got blacked out windows, it's a Ford Fiesta, it's one of those fast ones with red writing on, but they are there. They're keeping a reasonably safe distance if it was dry, but it's wet, so really they should be doing what I'm doing, which is keeping a 4-second gap to the vehicle in front. We're going to go left first exit, so checking the centre in the left mirror, signalling, going past a bicycle, they're safe on the pavement, I'm not going through a puddle, dropping down to second, getting my clutch up so I've got control, checking both sides of this door pillar because it gets in the way. The door pillar gets in the way because it's there, it's thicker, it's there to protect you if you roll or get hit by something. So modern cars are very safe, but they do create a massive hazard when you are driving because they hide cyclists and motorcycles and anything that's little. Sometimes even big things. We've got a car that might emerge, they are looking in my direction, and we are going to turn left at the main traffic light, so I'm checking my centre and left mirror, keeping to the left. I can't signal yet because there's a junction here. The black car's gone past me now, so I'm going to check my main and left mirror again, signalling left. This car in front is turning right. Now you can turn right in both lanes here. I always recommend to my pupils, if you are going to use the left lane, which is preferable to be honest because it just makes life easier, I would recommend that you signal a bit closer to the light so that any cars in the right lane do not think that you are changing lanes, and you might make them nervous or they might hold back because they're going to let you out. So we're going to speed up gently up to 30 and then pushing it on 4th gear now up to 35. We're going to keep going. It is a 40 limit. There are some large puddles here, so I'm just looking out for people on the pavement. That includes the cyclists because we've got cycle lanes on the pavement. There is nothing following me. I'm going to go straight ahead at the roundabout, and then we're on London Road. We're going past the Tesco's on London Road. So checking that centre mirror again. We're going to brake gently again. We are going to now drop down into 2nd gear. We are going to bring the clutch up, looking everywhere on the right. That vehicle over there is blocking the roundabout off for me. Check my left mirror, signalling left to exit, and there is nothing following me. Oh, there is a Mini. They're coming quite fast. They've got L plates on. They're just straight line the roundabout. It's not a pupil. It's possibly a parent driving the car. But again, stay in your lane on roundabouts. It's dangerous to cut across if you haven't checked your mirrors. It also confuses people because people see you approaching the left lane, and then you go in the right hand lane, and that is a problem. Car in front has just emerged out. I do have a cyclist on the left. It's a protected cycle lane because you've got the curbs, no puddles for them. At the next lights we're going to turn left because we're heading to the co-op on Pound Street now. I'm going to try and vary the route a little bit so we don't go down the same road as before. So I'm going to check my centre mirror, the left mirror. The red Mini's quite close to me. I'm going to signal in plenty of time. Still got a green light, keep checking the mirrors. I'm going to move across. It's also a legal requirement, just pointing these things out. If you are driving a car with L plates on, unless you're a learner, you shouldn't be driving with them on. The only exception to that is if you're at driving school. So I can drive with my L plates on because I need them on, because I'll be taking them on and off all the time. But if you're supervising someone at home, remove the L plates. It's a rule in the highway code, and it is a reason. If the police needed a reason to pull you over, or looking for a reason to pull someone over, they could pull you over if needed. We've got a van behind us. We are turning right into this road. New road. Looks quite bumpy and lumpy to begin with, concretey surface. We've got a red light in front of us. We are turning left at the traffic lights. So I'm going to check my centre and my left mirror. I'm not going to signal because there's a road here. I'm going to check that again. We're going to signal left now. Trying not to stop, so just slowing it right down. Trying to keep the car moving. Leaving tyres and tarmac in front of me. Now the van driver's got really close to me behind. I can almost hear him breathing. Check the door mirrors again. Van driver's taken up the whole mirror, so just looking for bikes down the sides, and again, emergency vehicles. If there was someone behind, you might need to give way to them. We are going to be heading towards the station here because we're going to the Pound Street co-op, so I'm going to check my main and right mirror. I'm going to signal. I'm going to let that flash for a little bit, and then I'm just going to glance in the blind spot, and it's safe. So I'm moving across. I'm easing off the gas because I can see brake lights on the van in front. I'm going to brake to warn this car behind that's now again really close. What is it with people today? They do seem to be quite close. Learners do crazy things. If you're watching this video, they pull their handbrakes up, but the closer people get, they panic. When they panic, they do things really weird that you wouldn't necessarily expect anyone to do. You know, I've seen people press the clutch down with their left foot. I've also seen the brake pedal being pressed with the left foot, and they press it like the clutch. For obvious reasons, that's quite a serious problem. Okay, so we're going through the roundabout. It changed just as I got to it there, so I'm continuing on. This time, I've got time to slow down gently. Remember, amber means stop if it's safe to stop, but because I knew that car was right behind me, it wasn't safe to stop. So by slamming on the brakes, you would cause a problem. So I'm going to stay in first gear here, keeping an eye on my door mirrors left and right. It also takes longer to stop in the wet as well, so if it was dry I might have been able to stop a little bit more under control there, but because it's mainly the reason I went through that was because the vehicle was behind. Okay, but if that car wasn't behind, I probably would have stopped because it wouldn't affect anybody. Okay, right, we're continuing in this lane. We're in this lane because we're turning right shortly. So because I know the town, that's what I'm doing. I've got a vehicle behind me, again, quite close again, checking my centre and right mirror. We're going to signal right, and we're going to ease off a little bit. The reason we need to know people are close is so that you can do something about your own driving. You know, just drive a bit more carefully. It takes twice the distance to stop, so you don't want to be looking in the mirror at their faces or anything like that. Just adjust your driving accordingly. Traffic stopped in front. We've got a 20 zone sign here. We're going to cancel the signal. We're following the road round to the right. Round the corner, got our car emerging. We've got another queue of traffic. Checking the centre and the right mirror. No rush. Got a pedestrian in a yellow hat crossing the road. There's someone getting stuff in and out of the shop. We're turning left at the lights. Traffic warden on the left. Check centre and left mirror. Signalling left. Light is green. Just checking there's no one else crossing. There's a crossing around this corner. It is green. Pedestrian on the left. 3 pedestrians on the right. 2 pedestrians crossing the road in a red hat. One of them. We're going straight ahead at the next roundabout. It is a 20 zone. I'm doing 18 miles an hour. There's a sign sticking out there on the floor. I'm just going to give that a wide berth. These two are walking in the road. I'm going to just slow it down. There's a lot going on. There's a car on my right to give way to. So I'm just going to wait for them anyway. Highway code says you need to pass around, not over the central markings. That's not the centre of the markings, it's around. You must pass around the central markings of a mini roundabout. So again, make sure you do that. If I was turning right at the next mini roundabout, it would be impossible to do that if I was turning right. So I just have to make my best effort. It is possible, but I'd have to take out the lane on the left, which I'm now going to use to go straight on. So if there was a car next to me and it suddenly swerved to the left to go around the marking again, common sense applies. Do what you can do at that moment in time. Okay, so we've now got zebra crossing. We've got a junction on the right, a couple of entrances on the left, parked cars on the left as well. There's nobody at this crossing. A white car might emerge, there's nothing following me. Someone's just getting in a car. Traffic lights are red, and that is Pound Street, so we're going to be turning right. I'm not going to let these pedestrians out, they're in a safe place. They're not crossing a junction. That's the difference between the new rules and the old rules. That's still the same. They're crossing to wait to cross the road. I've got to give way to the oncoming vehicle, and once I've done that, we're on a green light there. If it was a filter green arrow, then I would have priority because they would be held on a red light. Checking the centre and the right mirror. And we've got the co-op coming up on the left, so I'm going to try and find somewhere to park. It does look quite hectic, so I'm going to check mirrors, signal left, and I'm just going to pull up here into this little space here. Got someone following me, so just keep that signal flashing. I'm just going to back it up nice and safely, no pedestrians. Get a bit tighter to the curb. Keep looking around. And there we have it. Supermarket sweep. Done. So mix it up. I didn't get any places to pull up on the left to practice that, but that was just the route that I took. There wasn't any there, but on some of those other supermarkets with a different combination. So that's a really good way of doing that. Please visit our website, www.ultimatedriving.net. Look at the online course. There's 18 videos, you get 4 hours of footage. Each video's really detailed briefing, full live commentary as per I've given now, specifically on specific topics, and there are detailed multiple choice questions after each topic to test your knowledge. Hope that's been helpful. Have a good day.